Everybody, what is going on, everybody? It's the Fountain. We're here for our Clash at the Castle review for September the 3rd, 2022. This show was actually a very good show, minus the fact that we still have the paperest of paper champions in Roman Reigns as the Universal Champion. This guy has a reign of terror going on that overcasts anything Triple H does. Anybody who sits there and talks about the reign of terror of Triple H and how bad it was need to get yourself your history checked, because Triple H did not hold on to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship for 3 straight years. He lost it to Shawn Michaels. He lost it to Goldberg. He lost it to Batista. Reigns beats everybody, and he doesn't do it clean ever. This guy is a paper champion through and through. But before we get there, can I ask one thing? Why do we have to waste fucking time on video packages for people who aren't in the fucking show, you stupid motherfuckers? Triple H just dropping them L's. Plain and simple. We started off with the 6-woman tag match, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka versus Damage Control. They took Bayley's theme, added words to it, and put a thing that says Damage Control on it, so Bayley, Kai, and Sky are now known as Damage Control. So, this match was pretty good. This match went 18 minutes. It felt like it went almost 30, I swear. Of course, entrances took, I thought the entrance took about 5 minutes, and I'm looking at it's 8:30, 1:30, I'm like, man, this match is still going on. This match went a good while. That is another thing about this show tonight, is that most of the matches, including the main event, all felt like they went 5 minutes longer than they needed to. Plain and simple. Now, Michael Cole did mention that Sky and Asuka used to team up in the past in Japan with Io's sister to be a trio. And that's, of course, if anyone still has this thought that Vince McMahon is in charge of this at all or doing anything, this would not be said or mentioned with Vince McMahon in charge, period. Back and forth between these two teams, Belair used her strength to lift Kai in the air. Belair hit a powerbomb, but Kai turned the tables on, connecting with a scorpion kick. Bayley, Sky, and Kai took advantage, hitting the scorpion kick, the rose plant, and then the Asai moonsault for the 1, 2, 3. Bayley gets the pin on Bianca Belair. Obviously, she is going to be getting the title shot at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view in 5 weeks. Then we get a video package showing Tyson Fury shaking hands with Drew McIntyre, shown seated in the front row. And then we get the family of the British Bulldog introduced, along with Bret the Hitman Hart, because we have to waste time. For whatever reason, we had to waste time. Now, the match of the night, in my opinion, the main event could probably be, could go for that as well, but it had a bullshit finish, and Roman Reigns retained in the dumbest way fucking possible, the same way he retains all the fucking time with somebody from the Bloodline helping, but we'll talk about that later. Ludwig Kaiser, Marcel Barthel, Sheamus comes to the ring with his Brawling Brutes, which Ludwig Kaiser, Marcel Barthel, is standing on the entranceway and introduces Giovanni Vinci, aka Fabian Eichner, and the leader of Imperium, Walter. So, it looks like Imperium is back together. The Brawling Brutes are a thing. When Big E comes back, we have the New Day. With what happened tonight in the main event, we have the Bloodline. We have a trio for the Bloodline, which tells me that Triple H could possibly be working up, because he's supposed to be redoing the title designs for the WWE, for all the championships. What if we get a tournament later this year or next year when the New Day when Big E finally comes back, and we get trios championships in WWE, especially if the tag team titles stay unified. There's no reason to have two tag team titles if you're going to have a trios championship. But with the reuniting of Imperium, which also Imperium was out in black completely again, none of this red and half red, half black bullshit that Walter has had to wear for the last few months. Back in Black. Now he just needs to get his theme back. I don't like if you want to keep him as the names, whatever, fine, whatever. But he needs to have Imperium's theme back. But Imperium's back together. Brawling Brutes are together. We got much of the same what we saw when these guys would stare down 2 weeks ago. Of them staring down while the other 4 members of their groups beat the shit out of each other. They're just staring there and just waiting for them to get out of the ring. The bell rings and they just go at each other. And within the first 5 minutes, Sheamus and Walter both have their chests just chopped to all hell, broken blood vessels all over the place. These two, this match you knew was going to be brutal. You knew this match was going to be stiff. These two beat when I say beat the shit out of each other, they beat the shit out of each other. Like Walter had his ribs on one side bruised. Sheamus the entire match was trying to get the 10 beats of the Boundary on Walter. Got it on the announce desk, got it in the ropes, got it over the barricade. These two just, oh my God. Big E somewhere smiling, watching 2 big boys slapping meat with each other because, my God, these two beat the shit out of each other. Walter hits a powerbomb towards the end of the match, but he didn't get it all, and he landed, and somehow was able to sit up, but land on his tailbone. So that was a focal point of Walter for a bit, stepping on it, taking his, jumping on it, stepping on it, just attacking it all over the place. So when Sheamus went for the bro kick, his back gave out, allowing Walter to hit another powerbomb, but as he hit it not as full force and fell backwards. He says something to Sheamus and then hits him with a big King Kong lariat, 1, 2, 3, and Walter retains the championship in what I deem the match of the night. This was fucking great. This was great. If you want to see 2 big, beefy boys just slapping meat, Walter versus Sheamus is the match for you. I hope this is not over with Giovanni Vinci, Fabian Aichner joining the rest of Imperium, and Imperium being all whole again. What if we get at Clash at at Extreme Rules, the Brawling Brutes versus Imperium in a Falls Count Anywhere, Texas Tornado, whatever you want to go with. Tables match, ladders match, chairs match, I don't care. Give me Imperium versus the Brawling Brutes and book this shit. We have ourselves 2 trios right here. Within the main event, that gives us a 3rd set of trios. The New Day, when Big E comes back, is a 4th set of trios. The Judgment Day, with what happened tonight, could possibly also become another set of trios. We could have ourselves El Legado del Fantasma are coming up. That's another set of trios. I would not be surprised if very soon we have ourselves a trios tournament, giving us trios championships. And I think that is awesome, in my opinion. Again, this is Shayna Baszler for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I will say this right now, this was way better than the match between Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam. This actually felt like a match that Liv Morgan could actually hold her own against Shayna Baszler. Unlike Ronda Rousey, who went in there and flipped her around a bunch of times and made her look like she had no business being in the ring. Now, a lot of people expected I expected Shayna Baszler not to win this match because it feels like WWE is going to have Ronda Rousey be the one to dethrone Liv Morgan and get the title back on Ronda at Extreme Rules, more than likely. This was really good compared to it's really good compared to what Liv Morgan's last title defense was at SummerSlam. So that's not saying much because that match fucking sucked. These guys got about 11 minutes, which is actually pretty good. Liv Morgan hits her version of the Codebreaker, then the Oblivion to get the pin and the win, and Liv Morgan retains the championship. Now, during the match, Liv Morgan was able to counter everything that submission-wise that Shayna Baszler had because she actually spent time sparring with Matt Riddle, who, of course, has his own MMA background and was able to help her teach counters to everything Shayna Baszler was going to do. She even had a Juji Katami, a.k.a. the armbar, cross armbar on Shayna Baszler at one time, which rendered Shayna Baszler's dominant arm for her care for the clutch useless. And when it came down to it, she wasn't able to get the clutch on at all. After that, they show us Adrian Street and Miss Linda. For the UK fans, I don't give a shit. Rey Mysterio and Edge versus the Judgment Day. The biggest question going into this is what was Dominic going to do? He's pissed off. He's jealous of the fact that his father chose Edge for this match as his tag team partner over him. Edge actually came out wearing a mask to show solidarity to Rey Mysterio. Match was fine. This was okay. Dominic caught with the boot to Balor, allowing Mysterio and Edge to take advantage. Edge lands the final blow after a 619 for the spear and the pin and the win. The match really didn't matter because it was what happened after. The Judgment Day is trying to recover over on their side, and Dominic and Rey and Edge are in the ring. Dominic all of a sudden kicks Edge in the balls and just lays him down. For whatever reason, takes his shoes off. I don't know why. What the symbolism of taking the shoes off. He kicked him in the balls, took his shoe off, grabbed Edge by the head and said something to him. Rey's like, "What are you doing, man? What are you doing?" And then Dominic grabs his father and gives him a nice big long clothesline, knocking him out and taking him down, while the Judgment Day just laugh at everything that happened. He did not join the Judgment Day, but he turned on his father and Edge because he's tired of feeling like his father doesn't love him anymore. And his father's like taking Edge's side and not his on everything. We get announced the attendance on the show at 62,296, and then they talked about a press conference for AEW. So AEW's press events that they do after their shows, WWE is going to start doing, which I don't mind. I'm fine with that. If you want to sit out there and have like Liv Morgan or Damage Control, Roman Reigns, this person, that person, talk about what happened tonight, by all means, go right the fucking head. It's fine. Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins. This was good. These two, of course, did at the start of their match what Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins should have did at the beginning of their match when they had this when Dean Ambrose turned heel back in 2018. But those guys, when it started with a lockup, these guys started throwing hands immediately. Riddle repeatedly kicks in the corner. By the way, Matt Riddle's cosplay tonight was a Patrick Star for whatever reason, unless he's smoking a little bit too much of the Mary Jane. Basically, the whole story of this match was, could Matt Riddle keep his emotions in check, and how could Seth Rollins exploit those emotions? And obviously, of course, Seth Rollins was able to exploit them. As you're getting closer into the match, they're both down, and he's yelling at Matt, calling him a loser. That's why his family left him. That's why his wife divorced him, because he's nothing but a loser. They all know he's a loser, and that, of course, pissed him off, which in the end, goes to grab a chair and hit Seth Rollins, who's on the announce desk. He's going to hit him. Seth moves. Riddle goes to follow Seth back in the ring. Seth hits a stomp. When it wasn't enough, Seth gets up on the middle turnbuckle, jumps down, and hits another stomp. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins outsmarts Riddle and uses his emotions against him to win the match. So, this is not over by a long shot. Even though Seth Rollins on the ramp was saying, "See you never, pal," and smiling, this is far from over. We see Tyson Fury sitting in the ringside area again because he was talking to Roman Reigns earlier. Karrion Kross and Scarlett also shown in the front row. And we go to the main event, the Universal Championship. Broken Dreams plays into an intro for Drew McIntyre. They show a highlight of his entire life from footage from his indie days, from his young days to his Florida Championship Wrestling days while this plays. And I'm thinking, there is absolutely no way he could be losing on this show tonight, right? Right? He lobbied for this. He should have it's his moment to actually go out there and win the championship in front of a crowd, which was robbed of him with no fault of his own or WWE's. This was his moment to win tonight, right? Apparently wrong, because Roman Reigns is a paper champion. So these two have a belter. Early on, they're outside near where Karrion Kross is, and we see a water opponent, Drew McIntyre. And originally, the commentary team think that a fan threw the bottle at him, but Drew looks and Drew was dominating this match before the water bottle incident. And of course, Karrion Kross looks like he's going to jump forward, but that gives Roman Reigns enough time to attack Drew McIntyre. So they go back and forth here. Roman Reigns, 2 spears on Drew. Drew kicked out. Drew hits a Claymore to Roman Reigns. This was the funniest part of the night. Roman Reigns gets hit with a Claymore on the back of the head, which knocks out Charles Robinson, who goes to the outside. We hear Austin Theory's music, which he was in the pre-show match, and he was actually called Austin Theory. He runs down, and instead of getting in the ring, runs over to the timekeeper's area and says, I want to cash this in. All of a sudden, Tyson Fury gets up and just slaps this guy right in the fucking head, knocking his ass out. Tyson just poses for the fans, for applause and everything. So the referee gets in the ring after Drew hits a Claymore 1-2 kick out. They go back and forth again. They keep going back and forth. They keep hitting moves and everything. And Drew hits a spear, hits the Claymore. 1, 2, referees pulled out, and it's Solo Sikoa. Sikoa, who has been rumored to be brought to the main roster, has saved Roman Reigns' title reign, and once again, Roman Reigns cannot win a championship match on his own. And Roman Reigns hits the spear, gets the pin, and the win, and he holds on to the championship. Like the paper champion that he is, he can't win on his own. And anybody who sits there and says that Triple H had the worst title reign, he had the biggest reign of terror in all of professional wrestling, you have discounted Jeff Jarrett and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has not won any single match on his own. Whether Paul Heyman, Jimmy, Jay, Sami Zayn, and now Solo Sikoa. Roman Reigns is a paper champion of all paper champions. Can't win a match on his own, and always has something in his back pocket. That was a shitty finish. If you want Roman Reigns to actually feel like a legit champion, he needs to win on his own. But of course, Roman Reigns is a paper champion, so he can't win on his own. I am done with this title reign. The second he loses it, it will not be too soon. This was the time for him to lose it. I'm sorry. Anyone's like, oh, Cody Rhodes should be the one to beat him. I'm sorry. After what we saw tonight with Drew McIntyre being out there and how Drew McIntyre looks like somebody, like a fucking killer of a man, I don't Cody Rhodes winning the championship from Roman Reigns. And if Cody Rhodes wins it from Roman Reigns, it just kills everything, and it just makes everything worse. I'm sorry, Cody Rhodes beating Roman Reigns for the Universal or WWE Championship will be the worst booking decision WWE has done at all. This was terrible. This was another L for Triple H. Bringing back Shit Row was an L. The entire women's tag team title tournament was an L. This is an L. And Braun Strowman apparently coming back on Monday is another L. So Triple H, that is 4 L's to you. I don't want to hear anybody talk shit about Tony Khan and his supposed bad booking. That was bad booking. Drew McIntyre should have been your undisputed Universal Champion. If you wanted to keep Roman as champion, the real simple, easy solution was it's for one of the championships. Drew beats him for the championship, and Roman stays champion. But no, for whatever fucking reason, we still have Austin Theory, who should have failed his cash in, but Tyson Fury had to knock him out. And Roman Reigns gets saved by another member of his family. And I am fucking done with this title reign. It's not fun anymore. It sucks. It is a reign of terror that needs to end ASAP. If I'm anything, I'm stripping him of the championship because he hasn't done shit with it. Nobody fucking looks good coming out of any of these matches. And after the fact, Tyson Fury comes in, shakes Roman's hands, and him and Drew McIntyre sit here and sing sweet what was it? American Pie. Like, give me a fucking break. What a waste of a fucking main event. That is your Clash of the Castle review. Good show up until that shitty ending of the main event. Hit that subscribe button, comment below, like or dislike this video. Follow me on Minds at the Frowns Club. Follow me on twitch.tv/thefrownsclub, and follow me on Instagram at the Frowns Club. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for AEW All Out. Until then, Minds at the Frowns, and I'll see you guys later.